Hello Nottingham, I'm Ollie Adams and this is Nottingham College News. Today we will be talking about a subject that in recent years has become very relevant, especially for the generation of young adults in Nottingham. That question is, are the universities of Nottingham still actually worth it in comparison to the rising success of apprenticeships? Today we will attempt to answer that question. Across both Nottingham Trent University and the University of Nottingham, there are a combined 76,000 students. However, many new students looking forward to university life are instead turned away by rising levels of student debt and are instead persuaded to the side of apprenticeships. We now cut to Vox Pops that we performed on students of both Nottingham Trent University and the University of Nottingham in order to gather their opinions on whether they believe university is worth it or not.
So what are your thoughts on university, and do you think that some people could struggle with university?
My personal thing is I want to go to university, but I can see how it's not everyone's cup of tea. I have a lot of friends who are trying to do apprenticeships instead.
Why do you think that's easier for them instead of university?
'Cause not everyone can really sit down at a chair and write up papers doing theory. A lot of people like to do stuff with their hands.
Yeah, that is true. Do you think that also debt might also influence people and maybe make them not as interested in university?
I have a lot of friends that say they don't want to go specifically because they don't want to take on that debt now.
What is your view on university, and do you actually think it's worth it compared to an apprenticeship?
For me, yeah, it's like okay. I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it? Why? What are you studying?
I'm studying creative writing English.
Okay, what does that involve?
It's about to teach how to craft and draft, editing your piece, prose, poetry, stuff like that. I'm really into poetry, so I got a lot of insight into editing process and crafting poetry. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's cool. Do you think there will be certain people who might struggle in university, and there might be better options for them?
Speaking of my degree, definitely yes. You can write or prose or poetry without any degree. It's just a privilege to be in the university and study for pursuing a degree.
A UK survey found that less than half, 47%, of graduates work in careers directly related to their degree. This pie chart is about those who took part in the National Student Money Survey, specifically with student accommodation. These charts are a visual example for the Statistics About Student Accommodation section in the NSMS survey. A survey done by National Student Money Survey found that 41% of students that took part in this survey considered dropping out due to money-related reasons. Now cut to an interview that I conducted with Nicholas Clare, a professor at Nottingham Trent University.
Whether or not, do you believe that your students are enjoying their time at university, or do you believe not? Is it a mix, or is it all one side or all the other? And why is that? Do you reckon?
Mostly. I think there's been a noticeable increase in student anxiety since I've worked. So I've worked in universities for 10 years, a bit more than that maybe. Been at Nottingham for about 10 years. In that time, I've seen kind of a steady increase in anxiety and so on, and then kind of basically post-COVID, quite a big increase again then. I think, generally, I don't know about you, but the world feels quite anxiety-inducing at the moment. There's a lot of stuff happening, to put it politely.
It certainly seems to be. It feels like the stress sort of piled on after COVID. Yeah.
Now, kids are coming out with 60, 70, 80 grand's worth of debt.
Just under a third, or about 31%, had thought about dropping out due to money struggles. The SLC has confirmed to us that the average amount received by students from England in 2024 to 2025 was £7,678.
That's like a whole order of magnitude more. So if you're worried about that, because the thing costs so more, there's the added stress of I can't mess up, because for some people their families had to make even bigger efforts to save to get them there or whatever. So I think in general some students are, just more stressed about it. But it also, unfortunately, it does mean because of the general added costs. Now, I still think on balance, most of our students really like it. Sometimes they like bits of it too much and that gets in the way of the studying, but I always think it's important to remember that the time at university is about more than just the studying.
Yeah,
and
it's
shouldn't
a
be.
lifestyle, isn't it?
And I think it's a chance to go and do something else that you might never be able to do, go and experience, meet new people. I think that's really important. Yeah, and I think for a while as well, other non-university pathways have been undervalued.
We've already sort of gone on to this topic quite a bit, but so the next question, so given that many people obviously do struggle with financial issues, probably more now.
Basically, students have been made more and more into consumers of education rather than learners, or rather than people who are kind of on a kind of equal footing of staff students where you can have nice discussions, you're learning from each other. It very much now feels like a lot of the time students feel like, look, I'm paying a huge amount of money, which they are. Therefore, I'm buying a product, I'm buying a service, I'm buying the promise of a better job or a better employment, right?
For or against the financial cuts the university have made, and why? Do you believe that they were worthwhile or not?
I think in general there are some challenges that the whole sector is facing because it's funded in a way that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work. So universities are struggling, but even given that, I think a lot of universities have made a series of quite bad decisions about what they spend on and who they spend on.
Thank you for viewing our investigative project. We hope this project has helped influence your decision.